what are these modes, these stupid things? I don't understand. Where do they come from? That was a pick toss. Hey, this is Chris from GuitArmy, and in this lesson we're going to be taking a look at modes and where they come from. I recently released 2 different videos. One was 7 licks and 7 modes in position number 1, and just a week or 2 ago I released how to play all 7 modes in position number 2. I will be doing positions 3, 4, and 5. So with those 5 videos, I'm going to show you how to play all 7 modes in all 5 different positions. So that's going to be a ton of scales. I think that's going to be a really great resource for beginner and intermediate guitar players that want to just be able to watch a video and run and play through all 7 modes right from the same note. So the reason I'm making this video is one of my subscribers asked, he said when you're talking about the different modes, you're saying that this mode is based off the first note of the scale, this note is based off the second note of a major scale, and he just wanted me to elaborate more what am I talking about. So that's why I'm making this video. I'm going to go into a little more detail what that means, and I think that'll give people a better understanding of what the modes are. So for an example, I'm going to be basing everything off a C major scale. The reason I'm using a C major scale is because there's no sharps or flats. We have C, D, E, F, G, A, B, C. This is an Ionian scale, and basically that's just a fancy word for major. And the intervals are going to go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 1. And it's a series of half steps and whole steps. It's a whole step to 2, whole step to 3, half step to 4, whole step to 5, whole step to 6, a whole step to 7, and then a half step back to the root. And it goes number-wise, interval numbers, it goes 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 1. Note-wise, it's C, D, E, F, G, A, B, C. All right, so that's like kind of our base or our home scale that we're going to be using to learn the other modes. So let's go ahead and take a look at the mode that is based off the second note in a major scale. The next mode that we're going to take a look at is in Ionian, we went from 1 to 1, the first note of the scale to the first note. Now what happens, a Dorian mode is built off of the second note of a major scale. So if I start on D, which is the second note of a major scale, a C major scale, and I go from D to D, and if I take a look at what those notes are, it's going to be D, E, F, G, A, B, C, D. And if I looked and analyzed the intervals between those notes, it's going to go 1, 2, flat 3, 4, 5, 6, flat 7, 1. And that's what a Dorian scale is. It's basically a minor scale with a raised 6. 1, 2, flat 3, 4, 5, 6, flat 7, 1. So basically a D Dorian scale is going to be the exact same notes as a C major scale. So I know that's kind of confusing, but I'm explaining where these modes come from. And when I say a Dorian scale is built off the second note of a major scale, that's what I'm talking about. So once again, if I go from the second note from 2 to 2, inside the C major scale, if I went 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 1, 2, that would be the notes how they function in a C major scale. But if I was thinking of them as a Dorian scale, it would go 1, 2, flat 3, 4, 5, 6, flat 7, 1. I know that sounds confusing, but once you kind of get used to the concept, it's not really that big a deal. To me, ultimately, you just need to know what are the intervals of a Dorian scale. So if someone said, play me a D Dorian scale, me personally, some people will think, oh, well, that's just a C major scale going from D to D. Me personally, I think you should just learn the actual interval numbers so that you can build the scale and go 1, 2, flat 3, 4, 5, 6, flat 7, 1. So I created that just from knowing what the interval numbers are and not even thinking about where it comes from, which major scale it comes from. But that's just me. It might be easier if you just think about, what is the base scale that it comes from. So that's Dorian. Now let's go ahead and take a look at the mode that is built off the third note. So in a C major scale, if I go from the third note to the third note, which is E to E, it would sound like... And once again, all I'm simply doing is I'm just playing the notes in a C major scale. It goes E, F, G, A, B, C, D, E. I'm just going from E to E. And the third mode is going to be called phrygian. And the interval numbers, so if I go from here to here, this isn't going to be 3 anymore because it's the third note of a C major scale. We're now going to call that 1. And it's going to go 1, flat 2, flat 3, 4, 5, flat 6, flat 7, 1. It's basically a minor scale with a flat 2 in there. That's how I think of it. And that is the Phrygian scale. That is the It is the mode that's based off the third note of a major scale. Now let's take a look at the fourth one. The mode that is based off the fourth note of a major scale, and in this case I'm using a C major scale, is going to be Lydian. So if I start here, if I go from F to F, using the, thinking of them as the notes in a C scale, we would go 4, 5, 6, 7, 1, 2, 3, 4. But now that we're going to call this a different scale, going from here to here to here, we're going to call that now an F Lydian scale. And the intervals for that go 1, 2, 3, sharp 4, 5, 6, 7, 1. It's basically just it is a major scale with a sharp 4. 1, 2, 3, sharp 4, 5, 6, 7, 1. And once again, I'm just going from 4 to 4 in a C major scale. But that is how you would play, that's where a Lydian scale comes from. Now let's take a look at the fifth mode. The fifth mode is mixolydian, and what that does is if I'm going from the fifth note to the fifth note, going 5, 6, 7, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, thinking of those notes based off a C major scale. That is called a mixolydian scale, except now if we're going to consider this the 1, it would go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, flat 7, 1. So it's basically a major scale with a flat 7 or a minor 7th and not a 7th. So the fifth mode of a major scale, if I go from 5 to 5, is mixolydian, and it goes 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, flat 7, 1. Now let's take a look at the sixth mode of the major scale. All right, so the next mode is going to be aeolian or minor. To me, this is a big one. Almost everything you're going to play is probably going to be mostly in major or minor, depending on what style of music you play. So if I go from the sixth note of a C major scale to the sixth note and go, it happens to be an A minor. This is the note A here. So here's my C major scale. And if I go a sixth above that, the C here, it's an A. Now if I go from this A to A, that is going to be an A minor scale. So A minor is the relative minor to C major. What that means is the notes in C major are the exact same notes in A minor. So the interval numbers, the numbers that go in a minor scale go 1, 2, flat 3, 4, 5, flat 6, flat 7, 1. That one's extremely important to understand where your minor comes from. All right, now let's take a look at the last mode, locrian. So the locrian mode is built off the seventh note of a major scale. We have our C major scale. But what if I went from 7 to 7? That scale would be called a locrian scale, and the interval numbers for that are 1, flat 2, flat 3, 4, flat 5, flat 6, flat 7, 1. To me, it's basically, I was going to say it's a minor scale, but you have a flat 2 in there, and you have a flat 5. So you get this 1, flat 2, flat 3, 4, flat 5, flat 6, flat 7, 1. So the locrian mode is basically going from 7 to 7 in the notes of a major scale. And this happens to be a B locrian scale I'm playing. And that comes from the C major scale. So that's where the 7 modes of the major scale come from. If you still have questions, make sure you, in the comment section down below, make sure you, ask your questions there, leave comments, concerns. I will be linking at the end of this video to the other modes, the playlist with the modes that you can learn all in one position. So, like I said, if you have any questions, let me know, and I hope you enjoyed this guitar lesson. Oh yeah, if you like this lesson, make sure you subscribe to my channel and hit that notification bell so you get notified when I come out with new lessons. If you want to check out any of my online classes, you can do that over on Skillshare. I might have classes on Udemy, but really where I want people to go is I want people to check out my Patreon page over at patreon.com/GuitArmy. I'd love to see you over there. I have probably around 250 guitar lessons videos already on there, and there's going to be a lot more coming. So I hope to see you over there, and thanks for checking out this lesson.